Oh. All right, guys, I haven't had much chance to look at the stat sheet, but it's pretty evident in the first half their sense of urgency was much greater than ours. They played harder than we did. They drove us to the basket. Their reactions were quicker and more aggressive, more focused. And at halftime, to be honest with you, I felt very lucky that we were just down three. And we told them that if they would change that and get a greater sense of urgency in the second half, stop turning the ball over, that we'd be there at the end and have a chance to win. And I think that Kerr said we only had 3 turnovers in the second half, and one of them was RJ's drive in there that I don't know what he was going to do. But I think that was big for us, but I also think we competed better on the defensive end of the floor. Got a couple of block shots, and then on the offense, I think of all people, Leaky last night scores 1 layup, his only basket, but tonight he hit 3 big jump shots for us in the second half. I know one of them was for 3, and maybe 2 of them was for 3. But I thought that was big for us. RJ made some baskets. We went with the smaller lineup a lot with Caleb and RJ in there together. I think they gave us another ball handler because their defense was pretty aggressive and we were turning it over. But the bottom line is Garrison tried to play tonight and tried to do some great things for us and did some great things for us. But he was still a little hampered, but I thought that Armando and Dayron particularly gave us some big plays up front as well. But I'd say RJ and Leaky were the ones that were the stars in the second half.
Bridget Condon, go ahead.
Coach, what did you learn about your team's growth tonight, after they didn't fold when things weren't going perfectly in the first half?
Well, we've done that a few other times. I mean, a couple of weeks ago we played Florida State, and they had kicked us in the first half, and we came back. We didn't do it nearly as well as we wanted to at Syracuse, but last night they made a run at us, and we had a 14 or 15-point lead at half, whatever it was, and then we made a 3 to start the second half, and so now it's 17 or 18, and then they made a run at us, so we bounced back. But I think this was a tougher test on something like that, and I thought we handled it pretty doggone well. But we still have to make some shots. You can't keep shooting 44% for the game, and our big guys made a lot of shots. I mean, Armando's 7 for 9. I'm trying to find Dayron 4 for 7, so they're shooting over 50%. So we got to get some perimeter guys to either make shots or stop taking bad ones.
Brian Keys.
Roy, you've talked a lot about how who starts doesn't really matter. It matters who ends, but you just acknowledged Garrison was still a little hampered after the ankle injury. Looking forward to tomorrow, have you given any thought to maybe going back to the Dayron and Armando starting front court?
If Garrison is healthy enough to do the job defensively, the answer would be no. Guys, he's a senior. He's played his buns off for years and years, and I do believe in being loyal. And we decided to sit him down last night because he couldn't do it. And I don't think that Dayron and Walker and Armando did the good things tonight that they did last night, even though we had some good moments. So to answer your question, if he's fully healthy and can go, he's going to play. I mean, he's earned that. And I'm not a guy that tries to change lineup every day or every time the wind blows.
CL?
Roy, they were effective of keeping you guys off the offensive boards early on and even into the second half. What changed for you guys? Was it a matter of that sense of urgency you talked about, or was it something else?
Well, we always feel like we're going to try to rebound the ball for 40 minutes, and Virginia Tech is really good defensively, and they do a nice job of boxing out. At halftime, we talked about we had to make an extra effort to get off the box out and had to make an extra effort to get to the offensive board, and I think Armando did that better than anybody. But we do talk about it. It's a big part of our game. It's something that's been extremely important to us for our entire my staff. We've been together a long time. It's been important to us all the time. So what I hope it is that we're just going to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming and keep coming, and hopefully through the course of a 40-minute game, it'll be big for us.
Brett Friedlander.
Yeah, Roy, you play Florida State tomorrow, and I'm wondering, in all your years of coaching, have you ever been in a situation where you're playing your third game in 3 nights and the team you're playing hasn't played in the tournament yet?
No, that's one of those things, Brett. Most of the time somebody says, have you ever done this? I say yes, but I don't know that I've ever faced this situation here. But it makes no difference. We're still playing, and at the end of the game, the team that scores the most points is going to be declared the winner, whether it's your third game in a row or your first game. But they play a lot of guys. We'll try to play a lot of guys too. And 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds aren't supposed to get tired anyway.
Thanks, Roy.
Greg Barnes.
Hey, Roy. Armando scored 10 straight points there late in the second half as Virginia Tech was trying to make a run. He's had several games in a row where he's been pretty efficient. Are you seeing the level of consistency that you need to see out of him?
Well, I think, earlier in the year I said he was our most consistent player. There was no question about that, and he's been more up and down. But I think the majority of those 10 points were on offensive rebounds and putbacks. I think that he did a great job of getting to the boards and finishing plays. One time Dayron went in and missed a finger roll, and one time Kerwin missed a layup right in front of it. But Armando finished his plays, and those things were huge for us, to say the least. But I look down there and I see 17 points, 13 rebounds, and that is really good. And Armando, I'm always asking Armando for more. I'll never stop asking Armando for more because I think there's more there, and I'll never stop pushing him. But I thought he was huge in the second half, along with Leaky and RJ.
Brendan.
Yeah, Roy, I wanted to ask you about RJ. He hasn't always had the most consistent season this year, but what does it sort of say about him, the ability to stick with it? And, what was it about the way that Virginia Tech was defending you guys tonight that enabled him to sort of get in a little bit of a groove?
Oh, they're good defensively, guys, but I think the biggest thing, I thought we needed 2 ball handlers in there a little more to give us Caleb some help or RJ some help, and we went more with that lineup, and they were focused so much on trying to cut down on what Kerwin was getting that maybe they wouldn't guard RJ and Caleb as hard as they were guarding Kerwin, and it gave us, like I said, another ball handler, because for us to have 11 turnovers but only 3 in the second half, that is huge for us. But RJ's a tough kid. He's been a good player for us all year. Hasn't been as consistent, but neither is Caleb. And so we got to give guys a chance and hope that they play on game night, and I'm really happy for RJ.
All right, the players are ready, so we're going to do last one here for Coach Andrew Jones. Go ahead, last one.
Hey, Coach, the last 4 games of the regular season, you guys turned it over 80 times, leading to 95 points for opponents. But in 2 games here, 22 turnovers, leading to 20 points. What has been the difference for you guys?
Well, tonight in the second half, we didn't have the silly turnovers that ended up being open court turnovers. But I will tell you something crazy. Caleb goes in there and throws up a terrible shot in the first half and gets knocked down, and then Kerwin doesn't get back, and then Leaky did get back, but I think it was Radford that beat him to the basket for a layup. So a bad shot's the same thing as a turnover. I always say that bad shots and turnovers lead to runouts, and I think that that was one right there that won't go down as a turnover, but it was the same thing. But guys, it's mentally and physically impossible to emphasize taking care of the ball or don't turn it over. Depends on if you want to be one of those negative, positive guys or not. But it's impossible to emphasize that more than we have emphasized it. And so, it didn't work the last 4 games when we had 80 turnovers, but perhaps it worked a little better the last 2 nights.
Thank you, Coach.
Leaky in here?
Leaky is ready. Raise your hand with questions for Leaky Black, please.
Thank you, sir. You're gonna put that thing right in my face.
Danny Thompson, go ahead.
Leaky Danny Thompson with a 3-point conversion. Great win tonight. In the second half, the team seemed to crash the boards a little bit more, 13 offensive rebounds, and the team shot over 40% from the 3-point line, and you had your share of open threes tonight. Does the offensive rebounding edge give you guys better opportunities and better shot selection, especially from beyond the arc?
Definitely. We have
some horses down low, Mondo, Walker, G, Dayron. Anytime those guys can get an offensive rebound, they're going right back up. It's hard to, defend that, as soon as they get it off the board. So we'll take that anytime, honestly.
Adam Smith.
Leaky, you probably heard Roy talking about like the extra effort. He said extra effort to get off the box outs, extra effort to get to the boards. Just with the physicality Virginia Tech plays with, did you guys show something about your toughness tonight that maybe you haven't shown this season?
Yeah, I think so. They hit us in the mouth pretty hard in that first half, and it was just want to go home. You know what I mean? So they emphasized that in the locker room, and I feel like we stepped up pretty big. So with Mondo and getting down low and getting the easy baskets inside, offensive rebounding, that gave us a big lift, and he just led away from there.
Ross Martin.
Hey, Leaky, you and RJ had pretty big second halves. What is RJ like, and how have you seen him grow as a player in the last couple weeks, I guess, coming off that big dunk yesterday and some huge shots today?
Yeah, it's just it's crazy. I feel like I watched him grow up almost, So it's like the beginning of the year, him and Caleb would get down on themselves for it's like mental stuff and like little turnovers and stuff like that. And I feel like it's lately, as soon as he turned the ball over, he's like next play. You know what I mean? I mean, he's still, got that in the back of his mind, but he's like next play. You see the maturity, growing inside of him. So I'm real proud of him.
Josh Graham.
I'm going to go back to the physicality you were talking about a second ago. Given how physical Florida State to be, facing them twice, how confident are you that you're going to be able to bring that as a team for the third game in 3 days?
I feel like it's a challenge, but I feel like we're up for it. We practice every day, honestly, and I feel like half the time our practices have been harder than our games, and you really just feel battle tested. I feel like we got the ball rolling right now, and I don't think we're gonna stop.
CL.
Leaky, you had the 3-pointer last night against Notre Dame that got waved off, and it kind of struggled from there. How good was it to finally see those shots go down today?
Man, it felt great. I feel like I ain't hit a shot in a couple games, and putting the work in, every day is bound to show up eventually, So it's just one of them things is, just stay humble, just stay in the gym, just keep working, control what you can control. And today, getting the extra shots up helped. So that's what it was.
All right, last one for Leaky. Dan Tortora, go ahead. Armando's almost ready to go next, but Dan, go ahead. Sorry.
Leaky, just to speak on the depth of this team, and if you feel like at this point in the season, North Carolina is playing their best basketball from your point of view.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Just what you could say about the depth of the team at this point, and if you feel like your team is playing their best basketball as you head into the Final Four of the ACC tournament.
Yeah, I feel like the chemistry's there, and I feel like that's all it was at the beginning of the year, the whole COVID and, that whole nonsense. It's been hard to really get the ball rolling, and I feel like these last few weeks, honestly, the chemistry is just, we can just feel it, like the last time we played Florida State, and, some big games like that, you could just see the potential, and I feel like we're all starting to believe in, we all believed in what Coach said, but like it's just starting to show that we really do believe in what he said.
All right, Leaky, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Great job. Thank you, Armando.
All right, question for Armando. You can raise your hand, please. Okay, Greg Barnes, go ahead.
Hey, Armando. Roy told us a little bit ago that he continues to push you, and we've heard him say that a lot over the last year and a half. Has that kind of sunk in for you, and is that motivation for you, and one of the reasons that you played so well of late, especially in the second half tonight?
Yeah, man, Coach, he knows how to get under my skin. I probably say he go the hardest on me on the team. It's definitely motivating. I get annoyed and kind of pissed off, but I want to go out there and win, so it's all good.
Andrew?
I know he means good by it too. So
Sorry, Mondo. Andrew, go ahead.
Armando, aside from RJ's scoring tonight, what have you seen that's different in his game, especially when he's at the point, the way he kind of manages things and sees things out there that is a sign of his growth in the last 5 or 6 weeks?
yeah, I mean, when he's aggressive, I mean, he's hard to stop. I mean, he can shoot it. He's so quick, small. He can get in different spots easier than a lot of guys with just his size. I mean, his facilitating is getting a lot better. So, I mean, he's been great. And he's just growing.
Brendan.
Hey, Armando, when you say that Roy gets under your skin, what do you mean by that? Like, did he know how to push your buttons from day one, or has he like slowly figured it out over time?
100%. I mean, I'm telling you, like, he's just relentless when it comes to me. He's always riding me every single day. It's always he's just at me. So he know how to get me in that mood. So, and it turned me up. So I had to go out there and go crazy.
Is there something specific he says or does?
He just used the word soft a lot. And I don't like when he was saying that. And he kind of was trying to say they was punking us. So I just had to go out there and just show it.
Thank you.
Adam Smith.
Armando, on the subject of possibly being punked, was there any sort of adjustment, like technically, that you all had to make at halftime? You only had 2 offensive rebounds in the first half, and then you turned it way up in the second half. Or was it just a matter of effort as opposed to something technical?
I mean, I thought they had a good strategy at the beginning. They was doing a good job of just boxing us out, meeting us early. But, I mean, we got 4 good bigs, so eventually we knew they was going to wear it down, and that's in the second half. I mean, every play we going to the board, so eventually it was going to wear it down. Luma started fouling, getting fouls and stuff like that, so it just made it a lot easier.
Okay, last one, CL, and then RJ's almost ready. CL, go ahead.
Armando, what does this win say to you about the maturity of this team now? Is this a game you feel like you guys would have still won probably a month ago, or do you feel like you guys have made steps forward?
Definitely not. We wouldn't have won this game a month ago. We're just getting better and just tapping into our full potential. We know it's win or go home, and we kind of know we sold ourselves short. Just at the beginning of the year, there's a lot of games we know we could have won. Honestly, going into every game we played this year, I feel like we were the more talented team, but just teams have outplayed us. So now we're just finally everything's starting to click. And once everything clicks, we're going to be a scary team with just how talented we are.
All right, Armando, thank you. RJ, you're up. Good job, Armando.
Ross Martin, go ahead.
Hey, RJ, you had a big second half. I think 14 of your 19 points in the second half. You've had some big games this season. They've been, I guess, it's been a little bit lack of consistency. What clicked tonight, and how do you kind of maintain that high-level play as we continue in March here?
I just didn't want to go home. I didn't come here to lose. I know, Virginia Tech was a great team. So, they ran good stuff offensively and defensively. And I just, trusted my teammates to find me the good spots, and then vice versa. We dubbed it down low to the bigs, and they, double teamed, and they kicked it right back up to the perimeter guys for us to hit some huge shots down the course of the game.
Christopher Heidel.
Hey, RJ, thanks for taking my question. You guys played Florida State twice this season. How difficult is it to play a team a third time, knowing what their strengths and weaknesses are?
Florida State is a great team. We have to come out, playing Carolina basketball tomorrow. We played them twice so far, so we know, a couple of their plays and how they play, so we're familiar with how they play. So we have to come out, and play with some heart. That's really about it, and just play Carolina basketball.
Danny Thompson.
RJ, Danny Thompson with a 3-point conversion. The team struggled in the first half to get offensive rebounds, and the 3-point shooting struggled as well too. But in the second half, you guys had 13 offensive rebounds, and you had over 40% as a team from down the arc. Does the offensive rebounding give you guys better looks, especially for a shooter like yourself, to knock down threes, and does it put more pressure on yours to make those shots?
Definitely, we have a great front court, that has the ability to battle down low, get offensive rebounds, finish on their own or kick it out for three if it's needed. So I think that just makes the game easier for our guards, just to be shot ready. And we work on that every day in practice, to be shot ready whenever the time comes. So, I mean, I think that just makes us easier and ready to shoot.
Greg Barnes.
Hey RJ, what do you like about being in the backcourt with Caleb? We haven't seen that a whole lot this year, but last night and then again tonight, it seemed like that allowed you to create some space.
I think me and Caleb, we complement each other well. We're both scoring guards, both create our own shots, get our teammates going. So I think for me and him to play with each other, it just has a different flow and better flow towards the game. As far as if I'm off and I know he'll be on, but if we're both on, that just helps the team even better.
All right, we got time for two more. CL and then Brian Keys. Last two. Thank you.
RJ, can you kind of take us through the sequence where you had the three-pointer, then you got the steal and made the three-point play? I feel like that was the sequence that kind of broke the game open.
I know I hit a big three, and then I just kept telling myself one stop. Every time after we score, I kept telling myself and my teammates, all we need is one stop. And then once, I saw, his back turned to me, I reached and stole the ball and got an and one. And I think that changed the momentum of the game. And I think that was like a key for us to win the game.
Okay, Brian, last one.
RJ, at the college level, you're usually one of the smallest guys standing on the court. How does it help you to play with guys that are just as big and as physical as Armando and Dayron and Garrison and Kessler are?
For me, I don't really see myself as being small. I just go out and play hard every game and play as if I'm 6'5". Just playing with the big men, they just make my job a little bit easier. As far as scoring and then getting them involved. So I just go out. You could say I'm basically short, but I play with them out hard over height.
Thanks, RJ. Appreciate it.
Thank you, RJ.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. I got to go get tested, then I'll come back and type up some notes. Appreciate it, everybody. See you tomorrow.